All right. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to. I see you smiling, Jen, and welcome to another episode of How I Met Your Mortgage. As always, I'm your host, Adam Smith, with Just the Tips Coaching, and our co-host, who's with us most of the time, unless she boots me off the show, Jen Waybower. Good morning, Jen.
Good morning,
And
or afternoon, or good night.
yes, wherever you happen to be watching or listening, we know that it isn't always morning. I just happen to like saying that. I can't get past it. But we've got a really special guest for you guys today. Somebody that's relatively local to us here in Colorado, a very successful agent up in the North Metro Denver area. For those of you that are familiar with it, probably circumnavigating closer to Boulder and the bedroom communities around there. But Laura Owen. Good morning, Laura.
Hello, it's good to see you guys.
And thanks for joining us. I know that we've had this episode on the books for some time at this point.
Really long time.
Yeah, probably close to a year. But as the show has gained popularity, we've certainly filled our slots. I think we're actually booked until 2022.
We are booking January of 2022.
Wow, that is amazing. I can't even fathom 22. That's
Yeah.
a weird one. I'm just hoping we all survive 21.
Right.
Yeah, and I'm only saying that because I think we can all get through the next couple of weeks that remain for 2020. So,
Okay.
Laura, I mean, obviously the idea here is to learn a little bit about you, about how you started, how your career has blossomed in that time frame. And obviously our audience, our Just the Tips audience, we focus solely on really lead gen type coaching.
Cool.
Contact management, contact database, social media, video, these kinds of things that our coaching clients and our audience can do, learning through our guests on the podcast, learning through the weekly little tip, etc. Things that they can be doing to basically generate more leads, in this case, more buyers and sellers. So if the conversation happens to evolve in that direction as we go through this half hour, that would be great. But why don't you start? Give us a little background about you.
Okay. So I'm almost a Colorado native. We moved here when I was really, really little. So over 40 years ago. And I love.
My wife plays that card too. And then when it suits her, she'll claim to be born in Montreal, which is also true.
Yes. So, I'm like I said, practically native, been running around this area. So, haven't really geo-focused in any specific area because I really do know the North Metro area really, really well. I went to school here. I've spent my first earlier career was in HOA management. I owned an HOA management company, and we had clients from Denver, downtown Denver, all the way up to Loveland. So I spent a lot of time just roaming communities and, really getting to know where we are and who we are as Colorado. So that's my whole focus has basically been North Metro up to Wyoming border. So I really enjoyed the transition from HOA manager to realtor because I actually have the opportunity to call people who want to hear from me versus getting yelled at on the phone.
Yep.
That is a nice change, yes.
Yes, it is. And I'm not going to lie, it took a solid 3 years for me to get over the fear of the phone because I was conditioned to cringe and just like my shoulders would go up into my ears when I would hear it ring because it just always was bad news before. So now it's nice to actually pick up the phone and have people say, "Oh, I wanted to hear from you." So yeah, it's kind of fun to do that. I'm a wife and mother and like I said, one of my kids might be barging in here at any minute, so sorry if he does. So,
it's live. We expect things to be imperfect. We're going to do it anyway. Yeah. Absolutely. But it's funny that you bring that up because, and we can discuss it or not discuss it, but obviously call reluctance is huge in sales. Actually, it's funny. Jen and I do have a colleague who is an incredible marketer. And when she tried her hand at being a loan originator, she actually did once say that she gets anxious when the phone rings. And I said to that, boy, I get anxious if it's not ringing. And if it's not ringing, I pick it up and make it ring somewhere else. So that is really a cool transition to be able to organically avert some of that call reluctance, despite the fact that we all still have it to some degree. And for those of you listening, there is a great, relatively new book on the market by Carl White, who is also a fantastic mortgage coach, called Crushing Call Reluctance. Jen, if you want to find that link and put that into the comments, that would certainly be a highlight for anybody who does do sales and has to spend a ton of time on the phone. And thank you to Carl for turning me on to that and 1,000 other things that have helped further my career along. But, okay, so when was this transition? When did you get into where the phone rings and it's positive rather than negative?
It was definitely a transition because it went from scary and overwhelming to very neutral. And this, probably the last 12 months, maybe a little bit, because I'm in my 6th year of real estate now, has really gotten to the point where I realized picking up the phone, like I had to have an identity shift. Like, that's who I am. That's what I do. That's what I get paid to do. It's not, and not just the lead generation, but like delivering the bad news. Like, that's, no one likes to do that, but doing it with grace and in a way that, delivering that information to your clients is so important. So it was a mental shift for me just to say, okay, this is who you are and this is why you get paid. So pick up that phone. And it doesn't hurt to have the paychecks back it up. So, right? Like, so yeah, that I wish I could say that there was a specific thing I did or mantra I did or book I read, but it just really had to just, wait a minute. I may be lying on that a little bit. Gosh, I'm drawing a blank. The guy who was the FBI agent who did like that. Is it the art?
Oh, sure.
No. It's sitting on the desk at home.
It's on my shelf in my office. Oh, come on, Jen. It was the book I brought to our roundtable when we talked about everybody's favorite business book.
So,
never split the difference.
Yeah. Yes. So it wasn't the book itself, but watching some of his YouTube videos where he was just talking about you pick up the phone and you deliver the bad news. And it just really was like, oh yeah, like, or don't leave people hanging in silence, because I know when I'm hanging in silence, I will build the worst scenario possible in my head. They're getting ready to fire me, or this is happening, or, like just because we do, or if I can't talk to my kids, I'm sure they're dead in a ditch somewhere versus just enjoying their time. So the idea of eliminating that silence in my client's mind really became important to me, because it's, kind of redefining those values of don't treat people the way you don't want to be treated. So.
Well, there's a lot of truth to that, and a lot of our audience will know who Barry Habib is. He's kind of a icon in the mortgage world. He is undoubtedly the global leading mind when it comes to mortgage rates and trends and what's going to go on that logistical side, and has had his own MSNBC show, or I think it was MSNBC, but he was on the podcast, I don't know, maybe last year. And something he said that really struck a chord was that delivering bad news builds credibility. Mm-hmm. I mean, we all know that this industry, your industry, the real estate game, is not all sunshine and lollipops.
Yeah.
So, delivering bad news really brings you closer to your client. It builds that credibility. That's a profound statement. Let's put it that way. Thank you.
I went to a phenomenal training in February. It's the Agent of Excellence. And it was taught by the Disney Institute. And I'm a Disney file. I admit it, self-proclaimed Disney fanatic. And it's a course that is like tailored to teaching agents how to deliver Disney style experience, which the one thing they said there that really struck a chord with me, and we've sort of tried to adopt it sort of even as a family mantra, is it's not my fault, but it is my problem. And that's definitely one of those things, like you said, delivering bad news. I didn't cause it. I'm not the reason why the deal on the other side fell through and now they can't buy your house, but I still have to deliver that. And it does become my problem. So I've got to figure out how to fix it, even though I didn't cause it. So I think that has also been really kind of a strong way to just, you shine in those moments, and your clients appreciate you stepping up and making it your problem. So
staying on mission is
yes.
How our good friend, another well-renowned coach and speaker, Corinne Hancock, known as Chaos Corinne, her content really focuses on thriving in chaos and staying on mission. We don't play the blame game. We just focus on continuing to move forward. She would love that you said that, no question.
Awesome. Yep.
And it is very, very true. Give us some good examples of what that looks like, other than obviously, buyer's deal on their sale fell through. You've got to go to your seller, et cetera, et cetera. That's not an unfamiliar chain of events in the real estate world, and certainly not in recent years. I didn't really see anything recently, but I know that either earlier this year, although I really want to say 2019, I want to say it was pre-pandemic, one of the stats that came out over the course of that year was that a third, like 30% plus, of all real estate transactions had been falling through. A lot of them based on inspection or lending or whatever the case may be, which is why we had so many buyer borrowers acting as backup offers, which was great for them. But there are obviously a lot of events, cataclysmic type events, that could generate situations where, yes, you're delivering bad news, albeit not being the bad guy. And if you flip it around correctly, you actually get to be the good guy delivering bad news.
Absolutely. And a lot goes into that. So, can you setting yourself up a little bit, not just to, I guess being the hero is not the right word to say it, but, did you secure a backup offer? Can you say, yeah, this is bad news, but hold on, we're still going to move forward just with different people, or is an inspection issue and they didn't know their furnace was on its last leg. Great. You got to do it. Here's some help. Here's a vendor who can help you out, who can get it done before closing, who will take payment at closing, those kinds of things. So, really it's, delivering the bad news with a solution, I think really, really, really helps people versus, I don't know what you're going to do. That sucks. You just can't do that. I'm sorry, you're out of luck there.
Wow. Good luck to you. Sorry it didn't work out. No, and somebody once coined the phrase that it's only a problem if you have a solution.
So then what is it if it's not? If you don't have a solution?
Then it's just chatter. Then it's just talk. Okay. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, no question. All right. So, Laura, tell us a little bit about your business. What does it look like? How's it structured? Do you have other agents? Do you have support staff? What kinds of tools like that have you put into place to make you this successful?
I actually have a sort of teammate. We're not officially a team, but I work with my mom. She retired 3-4 years ago, maybe, and got licensed. She does a lot of our, coffees and hugs, and she's the baby kisser. And I really like to do the contracts and the nitty gritties, and that's where our two personalities shine differently. She's phenomenal at relationships and things like that. It's not that I'm bad at it. She's just better at it than I am. So she's in charge of doing that. And I am in charge of keeping the nuts and bolts on. So, so far it's worked really, really well. We've been top 5 in our office the last 3 months in a row, which was a really great way to end the year. Pretty excited about that. And yeah, I mean, I wish I could say that I had like some magic formula so that because making it duplicatable into next year will be really nice. But despite the pandemic, we've had a really solid year. So.
Well, and it sounds like the secret there is for everybody to go score themselves a baby kisser.
Yes,
I
absolutely.
can't wait for your mom to hear you call her that. That's phenomenal.
I think what everybody needs to score is somebody who has strengths where you have weaknesses. And that was the big deal, was that she loves, and she's such an extrovert and just really, really out there, and has done a phenomenal job of like building these relationships that are lifelong, and people love her. And, I'm doing my best to exploit it, I guess.
I love it.
No, and don't get me wrong, there's a lot of validity to that.
Yeah.
So in my office, in my mortgage company, I've been a broker owner for, 16 years-ish, somewhere in there. We pretty much strictly hire on personality. We run our applicants through personality profile exams, typically the Tony Robbins one, and we really hire knowing that everybody has a very different personality. No two of us match up identically that way for a number of reasons, but namely that makes each task that has to get done every day, every week, every month better suited to one individual than another. So it makes it really easy in our office to figure out who's going to do what based on their personality, where it's going to fill their need, make them satisfied with their work, and more importantly, where the end result is going to be the most productive. If that happens to be somebody who's great with people, then obviously client interaction is going to be high on that list. Those kinds of things. So yeah, let's not just slough it off as something where we're finding somebody who does well what you don't, because there's a lot of important validity to hiring people, to having team members, particularly in a support staff arena, that do things differently than you would, because a lot of those people, for those of you listening, are going to do it better than you would. Okay, you're not 100% at every task that goes into your work, into your business. So finding other people that are going to do some of those tasks in your day-to-day, week-to-week life better than you do it is an important piece of that puzzle. And I think that's exactly what Laura's trying to express to you guys, is that, yeah, it happens to be your mom, who happens to be better at kissing babies than Laura is. But if that's what it takes to fill the gap to propel your business forward, then so be it. Go find a baby kisser.
Do it.
Do it. Go, all of you, go find a baby kisser. Right. So, Laura, where does the business come from? You guys have had some big months this year. I would be willing to bet that December is going to follow suit with November, October, September, that you guys are going to have this latter third of the year just being amazing at what you guys are doing.
And a great start to 2021. Everyone usually takes this time off, and we're not. So
Jen's going to love that. I think we just did our video blog in the last few weeks, the weekly little tip about it's not a holiday. It's not a month. It's a holiday. Right.
Yeah.
And I got to tell all of you listening, and Laura's nailing it on the head here, buyers and sellers are still buying and selling between Thanksgiving and New Year's. And better than that, they are motivated to do it. There is no reason I would put my house on the market right now if I wasn't really motivated to do it. There's no reason I would be out looking at houses if I wasn't really motivated to buy. So, yeah, for those of you that are taking your Hall a month, I hope you enjoy it. Stay warm. Enjoy your hot cocoa. For those of you that are doing what Laura is doing right now and hustling during that Hall a month, good on you. So, Laura, is it... are you getting leads? Are they repeat and referral clients? Are we banging the phone? Are we doing social media? Tell us. Where do your buyers and sellers come from?
Oh, gosh, we are kind of old-fashioned in that, I guess. We've got a lot of our sphere, a lot of past clients, a lot of referrals, really nurturing people. And that was, I've tried And I do think there's a lead source for every personality out there. I really do. Because I'm not the baby kisser, I don't do super well with like ice cold leads. It's kind of not my jam. I don't, you know, I'm much better with people who know me, who like me and trust me. So really establishing that, yeah, you may know a bunch of realtors in your life, but I should be the one you're working with the people that we know. So it's most of our business does come from people that we already know, or people who know them. So that's really what we've been doing is nurturing them through, just loving on them, and also, making sure that they know that we are the competent agent, not just oh, hey, my cousin happens to be a realtor. Well, yeah, I know he does, but does he know how to get you out of this and do all these things? Like, making sure that they understand we're educated, we're informed, we're, top agents in our office, that kind of thing. So making sure that we're the choice that they want to make.
Well, and I got news for those of you listening. Everybody's cousin is a realtor.
Exactly.
Right. The numbers that fall along those lines just are mind-boggling. And I know that Denver's a really good example. We've got 25,000 licensed agents, so literally everybody's cousin. And yet somehow we have 7,000 listings. So, the math doesn't quite jive. So, if you happen to be on the consumer side and you're listening to us, then one, what the hell is wrong with you? But two, more importantly, really do make sure that you are working with a seasoned expert who actually does know the nuances of a contract, the issues that are going to pop up during an inspection, and not your cousin Barb who, sold 2 houses a year for the length of her 3-year career because those are the 6 other cousins who needed to buy or sell a house in that time frame.
Right. I think one of my biggest pet peeves is that you receive a contract and you're like, do you know how this works? Like, why are you asking these things? Like, we have a contract. Just it's a really great contract. Just use it. Don't try and rewrite it.
Yeah, reinvent the wheel. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we do get some feedback from a lot of our audience outside of Colorado about that process, and I hope that everybody doing the real estate gig here in Colorado realizes how lucky they are to have CTME.
Yes.
It is. Granted, it's got its issues, it's got its bugs, it's got its glitches. But if you look at what goes on with the real estate contract process in Arkansas, consider yourselves very, very lucky.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, tell us what 21 is going to look like. I mean, we're going to stay motivated. We're going to stay on this path.
Absolutely.
Are we looking to grow a little bit? Maybe, a dedicated TC, our own buyer's agent. Tell us what the future holds in store for Laura.
That's a good question. Definitely not looking to grow like a buyer's agent situation. I don't think. Like maybe down the road a little bit. I am a little bit of a control freak. I like to have my hands on everything. That's probably a personality conflict I got to work on. Definitely, engaging a TC to help make sure that we don't have, I don't want to get bogged down in some of the file stuff. And then really just doubling down on, video and things like that, just so that, meeting people where they are online. So it's not really necessarily trying to touch different people, but reaching out to, our current sphere in places where they already are. So, am I doing enough video? Nope. Am I, like sharing the message in ways that are a little bit easier for them to access is something I'm looking forward to doing.
Yeah, and obviously where we're now getting on a year-long stretch of people being glued to their screens with really no pertinent, no definitive end in sight. We'll see what the good people at Pfizer are able to provide. They've certainly made good headway with other things in recent years and decades, so kudos to them. But yeah, for those of you listening, if you haven't jumped on the I am not doing enough video bandwagon over the course of 2020, it's never too late. Yes, go live. Go buy yourself a can of green paint and make a green screen in your home office. Go get a real microphone. Buy a ring light. Whatever the case may be, get yourself on screen more. The difference is that, you and I could have this conversation. You and Jen and I could sit around and have this conversation. We could even share this conversation with the handful of people that'll see it today, tomorrow. Eventually that gets into hundreds and thousands as time goes on. But the one-on-one game, when we're talking about disseminating information out to even just your past client base, it's just not fruitful. It's just not a good use of time. The amount of time that you guys could spend, and I don't mean you specifically, Laura or Jen, but our audience, the amount of time that you guys could spend getting your message across to, let's just even say every one of your past clients, versus putting that message into some video work, getting it out to your past clients, plus all of the other ancillary people that may very well see it on social media, people that your past clients forward it to, whatever the case may be, those numbers now become exponential. Giving your audience, that audience, a real opportunity to get to know who you are. You guys are learning a lot about Laura today. How she looks, how she dresses, what one of the offices at her place looks like. How she speaks, her tone, her inflection, her sense of humor. All of these things are uber important to build and attract an audience, or maybe even more importantly, repel the ones that you don't want to work with.
That's good.
There may be people offended by the baby kisser comment. Fine. If that's something that offends you, you probably don't want to work with them anyway. So that kind of thing is really, really relevant right now. It has been all year. It has been all decade, for that matter. And it's never too late. So for those of you paying attention to the value that Laura is putting down here, pick that one up. That's an important one. All right, what else? Laura, what else are we going to try and ramp up or do better at or more of next year?
Oh, gosh. We've got some fun technologies that have been released by, I'm a Remax agent, and they've been trying to ramp up our technology offerings. So really embracing what we've already got there and utilizing it to its fullest potential. Everyone's like, what CRM do you use? And it's like, okay, so maybe making sure that ours is really spit shined in there, and could have probably taken advantage of some of the downtime we had a little earlier in this year, but going to make some time to make sure that we've got a really use of our robust CRM that we currently have now. So that's a real important thing. Is I'm trying to think of what else was in my business plan. All I remember is that on the top of it, my broker said I had to buy a Peloton. So I did that.
Good for you.
Yeah.
I don't know how that fits into a business plan.
I think there was a little bit of the self-care. We talked about the fact that, that COVID-20 came on and she's like, because, what's holding you back from doing video? I'm like, I got fat and old in 2020. And she's like, well, go get a Peloton. I was like, okay, I'm going to go do that. So
That's really a nickel's worth of free advice, no question. I will definitely back up the getting fat and old during the pandemic population. I'm one of many.
The funny thing is like, you see yourself on your screen in your little Zoom box, and nobody wants to share their screen now, and it looks horrible. And I don't remember who told me this, but they're like, yeah, we all know you look like that. And I'm like, oh.
Ouch.
Which, like, we already know you look that way. So just get out there and share your message, share your video. Like, we're not seeing something we haven't seen before. So.
Wow. So thank you to our audiences who know we've gotten fat and old over 2020. On the flip side, of course, Jen has started teaching yoga in 2020. So, yeah. So,
take advantage.
Some people went the opposite direction. All right. So, Laura, this has been a fantastic episode for us, and I get your little message there, Jen, that we're already over time, but it is amazing how quickly a half hour goes. Laura, how does our audience get a hold of you if they want to chat further about this or they need to buy or sell? Hit us with the highlights of how to find you.
I'm online at lowenrealestate.com, and I'm on Facebook at Laura Owen Remax Momentum. And oh gosh, how else can you find me? My phone number is always 720-300-4339.
Cool. Well, thank you for doing this. I know it's a big commitment to take the time out, the prep work, the logistics, and certainly to broadcast live for 30 minutes or so. So we really do appreciate it.
Absolutely. It was a joy to be here.
All right. And now for the self-serving bit. For those of you interested in other episodes of How I Met Your Mortgage, or you want to catch the weekly little tip, our video blog with a little idea of something you could be doing to generate more leads. If you want information about the Mile High Mastermind, come on, Pfizer. We're hoping that we'll do that event again in September. Let's get everybody inoculated, I guess. I have no idea. Let's get everybody inoculated as long as the side effects don't include, horns growing out of our heads. Those kinds of things. But any and all information about just the tips, our coaching program, how to get a hold of Jen or myself, use that text code. For those of you watching, you can see it on the bottom of your screen. For those of you listening, it is text TIPS to 63566. Again, text TIPS to 63566. And we will see you guys next week. Jen informed me that we're not taking any time off for the holidays. So we will see you guys next week. And Laura, again, thank you
Laura.
so much for joining us.
Nice to be here. Thank you so much.